Just back up and laugh somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Oh yeah, you do have to back up, dude. You're fucking like yawning and shit, and I can hear you clearly yawning.
As
Joda's
fucking
talking.
Joda talks, he's yawning or about
I
to burp.
know.
He's trying to burp or some shit.
Yeah, I was.
That's what I'm saying.
Start fighting. Welcome everybody to the Lunchtime Banter Podcast. I am your host Joda, alongside with my co-host Kevin, Gajot, and Preeti. And it is 2019, and it's election season. Election is
2020
fast
is
approaching.
right around the corner. Hey, we're almost at a year anniversary on our podcast, aren't we?
We are actually.
When the fuck did we
Didn't we
start?
start
December.
recording?
We started in December.
I thought it was November.
No, we started in December.
Oh,
I thought we started last week.
Maybe we did start in
I think
November.
it was November. I'm gonna check.
Check when the first one got posted. I think it was December, but we are coming up to 1 year. My goal was that we would hit 52 episodes by the time we hit the 1 year, so we could say that we had one
Podcast a week.
Yeah.
We are nowhere near.
I don't think we're gonna get there.
Oh shit! Yeah,
we might actually.
Yeah, the first
We
one
should be
dropped.
around.
We should be.
We should be around 35 or something.
We're past that.
Oh, then
We might be able to. We can crank them out.
Yeah.
So far, right now, we have 38 on as of recording this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first ones
Oh,
we dropped the
that's
first
pretty easy.
4
Yeah,
on
I think we
December
can
pretty
do
10th.
it, man. I
easy.
think we can do it.
The first 4 we dropped on December 10th, so we do have time. We have
Okay.
like 2 months.
All right, let's do it. That's a goal, guys. 52 episodes. We're almost there. We're not that far. But anyways, it's election season, not only in Canada, but in the U.S. But today we're going to specifically talk about Canada. Because what a shit show it has been. I watched the last debate, and yeah, it was an interesting one.
Dude, these guys, they're turning into like the Trump show where they're just like going at
They're
it
just-
and just fucking.
The moderator sucked. She
Yeah.
she should have stepped in and stopped their bickering.
Well, you
she
gotta
did
have
a couple of
strong
times.
moderator. You gotta have a
Yeah.
powerful. And just shut up.
Honestly, I don't understand. They should, like, when their time runs out, they should just cut their mic off.
They should.
They should just be like, boom, your mic is
Yeah.
fucking cut.
They really should.
They let them just keep on yapping, like trying to,
Yeah.
and then it just ruins it, man. And they bickering back and forth. And this is where the NDP got in all their good shots, because while they were bickering,
I know.
Jagmeet Singh, who's the leader of the NDP, would come in there with like, hey everybody, these guys are bickering over who's worse for Canada. You guys need to choose who's best for Canada, and that's me.
Yeah.
Right?
That
you
is a
have to
good
choose
point.
between Mr. Deny and Mr. Delay.
Yeah, he's like, you don't need to choose between Mr. Deny or Mr. Delay. He had some great quips. As a debate, I think he won.
That's what most people are
100%,
saying.
because he actually got his points across. He was the most eloquent and all that kind of stuff. But man, I'm not a fan of that party. He'd be a great leader, but I'm just not a fan of that party.
That's what like most people I feel like are saying. Well,
I was listening.
Most people in, like,
I was listening to CKNW the next day,
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, 100% we would vote for him if he was just with a different party."
Yeah.
Why don't people like NDP?
I think it's just
Lots of
they're
people
too-
think it
they're
fell
too
apart
socialist.
after Jack.
Well, Jack
Layton
Layton.
died.
It's never been.
Yeah,
It's never been a real contender. I don't think NDP has ever been in federal power ever.
Yeah, they once won provincial.
Well, no, provincial they won many times.
Fuck, I forget who was it. He was he was
Pro-
Indian too, I think.
Provincial they've won many times,
Yeah.
right?
Ujjwal no,
It was what's his name, Sohota.
No. This guy won. He was
Yeah, he lives on the island, man. I know who you're talking about. He was the leader of the NDP. He's a brown guy.
what about Ujjwal Dosanjh? What was he?
Ujjwal Dosanjh is a piece of shit.
That's what he is.
That's what he is.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh, that clears that right up. He was with the piece of shit party.
He's a federal minister for the Liberals. Liberals? Yeah, I think he was Liberals. He was federal.
Oh, okay.
But he's a piece of shit. Anyways, what was I saying? So Jagmeet Singh did really good, but even on CKNW, people just don't like that party. I think it's too social, is what everyone is kind of. That's
Which is weird because liberals are going really social too.
But this is like to the other extreme.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, hey, sit at home, don't work. We're gonna take money from everybody who does work and give it to you who don't want to work.
It sounds kind of
right?
fun.
Preeti, what do you think about that one?
Preeti agrees with it. It's a part of his platform.
Yeah, what about Preeti 2020?
Okay, most of it I joke around with, right? But I honestly don't give a shit about this shit. So, and I don't know enough about it to have really
But this is the thing. I
a
think
good opinion.
I
about
think
it, kinda thing.
there's a really good website.
You are what's the problem with the world?
I believe.
fuck you.
Not
too.
the world.
Hold on.
With Canada.
No, it is. It's a problem with today's society because everyone wants to have this voice on, and I'm not saying you do. You don't go on social media or anything like that. But in general, everybody wants to be like talk shit on social media, say this, say that, say this, say that. Oh, this is bullshit. That should happen. This should happen. But when push comes to shove and time comes to go and fucking vote, they don't vote.
What was the voter turnout for the last?
It was terrible. It was like, I want to say it was in the
I think it was like
30s,
30%.
the high 30s, low 40s.
Yeah.
It was a fucking terrible turnout.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're talking about for the entire nation, that's the kind of turnout you have.
But at the same time, you got to think about it. Maybe it is better to have just the people that fucking know what's going on in politics voting. Because if you have like 80% turnout,
but what I'm getting at is there's that's what I was going to get at. There's a website, and I believe it's Maclean's magazine has it, where you can look at every party's platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of compare like, oh, on this issue, they stand all stand
Exactly.
like this.
So they'll go talk about taxes, they'll talk about social, energy, climate, all that kind of stuff. Just read the fucking thing and vote for whoever you align with.
Exactly.
If you align with NDP, vote for NDP. If you align with liberals, vote for liberals. If you align with conservatives, vote for conservatives. Right? But it's weird because the election is very similar to the previous U.S. election because
Yeah.
No, we were off, way off.
How much was it?
Like for a federal election,
Yeah.
apparently the lowest it's ever been was in 2008, where it was 58.8%.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Lowest,
then-
that's good turnout.
And the highest since 1997 was 2015 in the federal election, which was 68.5%.
Oh, that was all because of the weed.
Because of the weed.
That was
Everyone
'cause
came
of the
out
weed.
to vote for the weed, yeah.
That's why the liberals won. It was because of legalization of weed.
Well, I didn't even go and vote for that one.
God damn it!
What the hell were you doing, man?
So here's-
Smoking weed.
and here's my other problem with that is especially us as South Asians, how hard we fought to get voting rights in Canada was ridiculous. The amount of sacrifice that was done by our forefathers to get us the voting rights in Canada, and we don't go and fucking vote. That's absolute bullshit. Yeah. At least go and vote. You got to do that. That's a minimum.
I think
man.
most people, what fucking kind of prevents them from going is because they think, be like, okay, I might know like, who I might choose for, or like maybe I don't care or anything. But a lot of people, they'd be like, fuck, these people who are like doing this advertising or this thing, they're spewing out lies, all this bullshit. And it's just going to make these people act like sheep and be like, oh, this is probably what it is. And they're going to go vote for the wrong person and be like, fuck, I can't stand, like, I'm one person.
I don't want to be the person who made that mistake.
No. I'm like one person, but I can't fucking go against these people, like making these people into sheep and just fucking going one way or just falling off the cliff.
See, but that's the myth, right? And
Yeah.
that's
I'm just saying that's what most people are.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, that
That's-
person's going to win anyway, so I'm not going to go and vote.
There's another fact. Like, that's true too.
Yeah.
But like, when you got your own, so much of your own shit going on,
Yeah.
that you can't even fucking like go which way, like it's like fuck that. Like you just take it out of your mind.
I feel like that's
why
probably one of the main reasons
would
people
you
don't
wanna,
vote.
Why would you want to put all that shit on your head when you got other shit going on too? And it's fucked up because like that it might help what you're going through, this, that, or whatever.
Exactly.
But you can't. It's like you might be at a part that you can't.
But that's where it's like you should be responsible to make the time to find out what's going on. in
Yeah,
politics.
exactly.
And
People
that's
are
one
like,
thing.
I don't know enough to vote. It's like,
and-
dude, it's pretty like easy. But the problem is, one, you don't know who's gonna fucking lie and just
That's
fucking
the
not
biggest
go out with their
problem. That's the other
promises.
one, yeah.
Like, oh, this person
I
lied.
think
Oh,
that's
this
the
person says
biggest
this
problem
thing.
with the voters.
And then it's like people start going and be like, hey, I don't want to like. They'll be looking at the party leader, be like, I don't want to vote for Trudeau because he fucking lied about this and did that fucking Lavalin
Yeah.
this and did this
And
and that.
it's
I don't want to
cost
vote for
you-
Scheer because he looks like fucking. Goddamn,
And
what's
he's
that?
racist.
Annabelle, goddamn doll, like a weirdo. Oh, I don't want to vote for fucking Jug Me because he has a turban on, this, and that. And they'll vote for like, they'll look at the leader and be like, I don't want to vote because of this guy. Where it's like, you're not kind of like, yeah, you're voting for the leader, but this person's going to kind of lead it. But it's like, it's their party who's leading
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And now you got to look at the party and be like, what's the party going to do?
I think a lot of people do forget that the party holds most.
The
like,
party's the
power.
one, yeah.
Like the
the guy
leader
can't
is
just turn around and be like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to
Yeah.
go and do this.
Unless
and
you're
be
Donald
like,
Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump can do
Even
whatever
then,
the
he
fuck
can't
he
actually
wants.
do a lot of.
2 terms.
Actually, did you know that the billionaire tax rate is at the lowest point it's been in so long? It's
100%,
It's
obviously.
lower than like poorer incomes right now.
I
It's
wouldn't doubt
fucking
it.
Insane.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's Donald Trump we're talking
Yeah.
about. He's hooking up all his friends.
Straight
but back
up.
to Canadian politics. I think it's that's why I'm saying, just go. I honestly, I read through everyone's campaign, and again, whether these are, they're just their platforms, whether they're actually going to do them or not.
Yeah.
I was like, 'Cause I went through it. There's some stuff about the liberals I fucking hated. They want to take away my my assault rifles. Don't like that part. Right?
They want to take away my guns.
I did not like that part. Right?
I got a right to bear arms.
Yeah.
I tell you that.
There was some stuff I liked about the conservatives where I was like, oh shoot, I'm like, that's pretty good. They had some really good stuff for child tax credits and child sport credits and that kind of stuff. And then the NDP, I didn't like anything. Well, the NDP is the climate stuff. Definitely, they're big on that. But just there's just not a whole lot that resonates on the NDP side. But the other big thing about this election is that if you listen to climate change experts and stuff, like the next 4 years puts us at the point of no return.
Oh yeah,
right?
The positive feedback loops that are going on out there that nobody talks about is getting ridiculous.
What do you mean?
There's so basically the way positive feedback loops work is the sun shining on the earth, and if it hits ice, a lot of that energy gets reflected back out into space because ice is white, it just reflects it back out. As that ice melts, the light hits the water and heats up the water more, melting more ice. As you get rid of ice, you're getting more heat, and it just feeds itself. And it's happening with methane deposits too, because permafrost is melting. Methane is a way worse greenhouse gas than CO2.
Yeah.
And once these things get to a point where we can't stop it and we can't do anything about it, which is around now.
Yeah, because you're not gonna be able to refreeze.
Yeah,
that
you can't
stuff.
refreeze the ice.
Right?
You can't. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do.
The next 4 years, everyone's saying, and then that's why these two elections are so big. Like Canada, not as much as the U.S., but still big player, right? Is that if we're at the point of no return, so whatever leader we elect, and if we elect a party or somebody who does not believe in climate change and puts in actions that are
to reverse a lot
of the positive
carbon taxes and stuff like that
over the next 4 years, basically it will put mankind in a point of no return, that the earth will basically be doomed. Like right now we still have a chance to do certain things to reverse some of that effect of climate change, and that's why it's important. So at minimum, look at the parties, see the ones that are going to actually take action on climate and vote for them. At minimum, just fucking vote for the party that's going to take some action on climate.
So
basically everyone
vote for anyone but conservative.
Conservative is probably the least amount.
Conservative. Well, there's that and the PPC. That's even worse.
PPC, fucking nuts. I can't believe. Okay, that PPC guy.
Maxime
is he
Bernier?
Yeah, is he from Quebec?
He's from Quebec.
And then Quebec also has Bloc Quebec.
And then they have Bloc Quebec as well.
Wild.
Yeah.
They should have just joined Dominique One. They're splitting the vote, fucking
I
idiots.
know. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I don't know what's the worst. If I look at it from a racist point of view, I don't know who's more racist, PPC or conservative. Come on.
PPC for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the funny thing is, it's what's the saying? They're like Maxime Bernier says the things that in
Sheer thinks
in public.
Yeah.
The things Sheer
says
thinks.
privately.
Yeah.
Sheer says privately.
Yeah.
So the fucking whole blackface thing with Trudeau, huge fucking controversy. What are your thoughts on it? What's your honest opinion on
My
it?
honest opinion on it is it's not racist. He's a fucking dumbass. Because we know he's not racist.
Yeah.
He's not a racist person.
Exactly.
So saying that he's a racist, he's a fucking dumbass. He shouldn't have done it. He's an absolute dumbass. And it's stupid.
Pretty
right?
thoughts.
Doesn't it change it a bit because it was
And you have to look at it
party?
forget the costume party. And you have to look at it in context of time. So in 2001, 18 years ago, right? What you could do you can't look at stuff in today's lens.
Exactly.
And then be like, oh yeah, fucking that guy did this. You could do that with a shit ton of stuff. Because as we progress and the world lens changes, you can go back and say that was this and that was that. You would be canceling 90% of people.
He did that in 2001. Tropic Thunder came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is a black person in that
that
entire
hasn't even come
fucking movie.
Dude, I'm surprised that hasn't
He should have
even
won an
come
Oscar.
up.
Dude, it's so good.
Seriously.
I'm the dude playing the dude.
Dressed up as a dude playing another dude.
Dude, but anyways, my opinion on that is it was absolutely stupid.
Well, if you're gonna become a politician, come on, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But then that's where people talk about the privilege. And then I don't know if the photo was real. I'm pretty sure it was real. But
Bro.
there was the Kenya one.
Yeah.
Where him and his brother are riding two little African kids.
But that's dude, you didn't see that?
You didn't
I
see
haven't
that?
seen that. I haven't seen that
Okay,
either.
but hold on. How could you blame him for that?
You can't. That's the parents. That's 100%. That's the
yeah.
parents. You can't blame
Yeah.
him. He was a
If that's
kid.
real,
If
that's
that's
not the
real,
kid.
and
That's not the kid.
And I was looking at that, I was
Dude,
like,
it
yo,
was
this is fucked
It's
up. man.
fucked. So fucked. Like, who authorized this?
What if the black kids offered?
The other problem I had during the debates, and this is what really hurt me about Jagmeet Singh, was that when they asked him about the...
Is this him? You're
that-
fucking lying. This one.
that's the one.
You're lying.
What news article is that?
It's all over the place.
It's all
dude.
over the place.
Snopes
It
or
must,
some
it
shit.
must
Dude,
be,
it's all over the place.
That's
it must be
wild.
verified.
It's not, I don't know if it's verified.
Well, no, you can't just keep fucking saying that. Hey, this guy. I think
Yeah,
that.
yo, no.
Maybe
This
it's
item was
probably
not
not
a
him.
factual recounting of real events, and the above displayed image does not feature Trudeau as a child.
Oh.
It's some other white kids.
I knew it, dude. That would have
Hey,
been way worse.
this is what
that
I'm-
would have been bigger news than the blackface.
They would have blown that up.
But
bigger
this
than
is how
blackface.
easy
listen,
it is
listen,
to
that
for
was-
fucking sheep like you. You fucking
No,
fool.
no, I didn't.
And that's honestly
No.
the biggest problem because fucking conservatives' entire platform is shitting on Trudeau.
Yeah.
Like their entire platform
Yeah.
is just last
beginning of the
election it was
fucking-
he's not ready. Now what the fuck do they say now? It's just something shitting on him, and it's like just explain your
No,
own
he
fucking.
burned-
Last time it was
First like
he's
5 minutes of that debate, fucking Scheer turns around and just ripping on him. He's like, "Oh, he's a fraud. He's fucking straight up to his face. You should
Yeah.
not be governing this country. You did blackface. He wears many masks."
that mask thing was the best. He wore a
He fucking, like,
he wore the
rehearsed
blackface
that?
mask,
Yeah.
and then he's like he wore the Aboriginal mask that he was gonna support Aboriginal, and then what do? He fires the first Aboriginal. Then he said he's a feminist mask. Then he fires
Fires
two
those-
girls.
yeah.
Like he just
That's-
went off. He's like his whole thing is a fucking.
He's a phony. He's a fraud. He's
Yeah.
a fake.
big
He's a
fat
phony. He's a phony.
But this is the thing what pissed me off about Jagmeet Singh. Bill C-61 or whatever it is, the Quebec one, where you can't wear
21 or 61.
or whatever it is,
Yeah.
where you can't wear any sort of
Any religious garb
during any public service,
yeah.
right? They asked him flat out, they're like, would you repeal the law or would you challenge the courts? And he gave the most fucking beat around the bush answer. That's twice he's done that now, which to me is complete fucking bullshit, especially because
What?
he wears religious garb.
Yeah.
So he should have flat out stood up, but because he risks so much of losing
He would lose the entire Quebec vote, yeah.
votes for the NDP, he didn't fucking take a proper stance
Exactly.
on it.
How many votes is he gonna get from Quebec anyways?
No, but the
NDP
party.
actually, the party NDP
Yeah.
actually had quite a few votes in
Really?
Quebec. Yeah,
Really?
from the Jack Layton era and the previous one, like that's where a lot of their votes do actually come from the Quebec side.
As annoying as that is,
That's
maybe
fucked.
his whole game plan is repealing it once he is in office and not fucking over.
I know,
before he
but
gets it.
it's sad. And he's like, he's like, look at me. Obviously, I wear this. He's like, I just think it's really sad. It's just really sad. People shouldn't have to go through that. And so he just gave this like beat around the bush answer. And
No, I don't fully blame him for that because his hands are kind of tied on that. Because if he went too far the other way, his party would have just turned on him and been like, "Hey, you're not leader now."
But
they would
I
have
don't
put
know,
somebody
man.
else in place.
That
So-
I don't know. That's where I don't know. Like to me, it's like
That's-
you are literally
Yeah, the
the
epitome.
epitome
Yeah.
of fucking like you won't be able to be a fucking public
Exactly.
servant in Quebec. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck, man?
You literally can't walk into whatever
Yeah,
their building.
exactly.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? You're as a prime minister of Canada, you're not gonna be able to fucking
Yeah,
go.
you can't even go into one of your provinces.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So-
Wear a hat?
Exactly. So like the fact that like he didn't take a full stance on it, I get the whole sentimental thing and the beat around the bush that he did, and I get it that it was to kind of save those party votes, but
But yeah, he should.
he should have. That's
on that.
where he should have just taken a strong line. And his whole thing was, well, we're just gonna let the courts kind of do their thing. Whereas liberals came out and flat out said, yeah, we're gonna challenge that law. Which again could be bullshit because they could have fucking done it now and they haven't done it yet. So it's all fucking rhetoric. But at the end of the day, get your asses out and fucking vote.
Yeah, whoever
Whoever it is, I don't give a fuck who it is.
Stop looking at me.
You know
Get
what?
out and vote.
You know,
It's
one
so
thing I think
important.
would help
I
the Greens
ain't
if they
voting.
weren't green, like if they changed their name.
They changed
or
their
whatever.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They're just
automatically
basically
people
associated with fucking marijuana,
They do,
weed. It's like
100%.
Yeah.
fucking one thing.
Yeah.
And like, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of fucking hippies and this and
Yeah.
that. And they need to like change up their whole party.
She
Like,
tried. She
Yeah.
tried her best.
Yeah. she's giving it her
She's
all.
a nice lady.
I like. What do you think is actually going to happen? What do you predict?
I honestly think that
It's a tough
conservatives
one.
are going to win.
I think
really do.
the reason I think conservatives are going to win is because NDP is doing so good. Because
Yeah.
Jagmeet is doing so good in the debates, and he's getting a lot of social media traction and all that kind of stuff. He's going to split the liberal vote, which will inadvertently end up giving conservatives power.
A minority government power.
Yeah. I don't think NDP will get enough seats to be will be the official opposition. I highly doubt
Yeah.
that will happen. It'd actually be surprising to me if they even had a really blockbuster amount of seats. Like I think Jack Layton was their peak. I don't think they're going to be able to do more than that. And a big part of it is racism. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Did you
huge
see
part.
what fucking like? Have you seen Hassan Minhaj's fucking thing on the Canadian politics?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
He's
And
got a
when-
6% approval rating.
He's like,
and they're
he
like,
has
that doesn't even
no-
make sense. He has no controversies.
Yeah, he's like people in Winnipeg were like, I don't know
just
if I
can't
want
put-
to. I just can't put my turban on it. I mean finger.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's so funny, but god
So
damn.
good.
But it's so true, man. He was walking through a marketplace in Quebec, and a old white man leaned into him and was like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah.
you know, if you just cut your turban off,
Cut your turban off. Not like the curtain. Like, what do you mean cut off? You can literally take it off.
Yeah.
You don't have to cut it
No,
fucking
no,
off.
if you
No,
cut,
it's tied to your head.
It is sewed onto your head,
Sewed
right?
onto your head.
You have to
You're
cut
born
your
with
turban
it.
off.
if you cut your turban off, maybe you'd be a little bit more Canadian." And you know, props to him for being so amicable and having such
you-
a good response, because, man, it takes fucking courage.
Did you hear what the
To
white
not
guy said
lash
at the
out.
end, though?
No.
He was like, I still support you, though.
Oh, did he? Really?
It was so fucking weird. I was like, why are you saying this shit then? Like,
Maybe
He
he's,
did.
maybe he's literally trying to help him. He's
I
like,
think
yo,
so, maybe.
you would win if you.
honestly, that might be what it is.
Did
Where
he
it's like
really say that?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, fuck.
I watched it a
None
few
of the
times. I was
sound
like,
bites
what the
picked
fuck?
up. Like, no one ever talked about that part of it.
Obviously, because they want to run their
They- yeah,
one-sided story of look at
exactly.
these old
That's
racist
crazy.
white people.
But
Yeah.
fuck, like it takes
So I feel bad
One thing
for
I
him.
give him a lot of respect for is the way he always like people come up to me, you're a terrorist and you're
Yeah.
fucking this, you Muslims are
Yeah,
this
that,
and this
did you
and
see
that.
that video with the woman's reaming him out and
Yeah.
stuff? Oh, you Muslims.
And like
doing
all
this
he
and
says
that.
like
Get
we
your
love
Sharia
and
law out of
respect
here.
you
Yeah,
or
love
whatever.
and courage.
Yeah, love and courage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, cause like a lot of people, they'll do like two things. One, they'll get fucking super pissed off and be like, "Fuck you, the fuck you," and this and that. And the other thing they'll do, be like, "I'm not a Muslim. A Muslim is this and this,"
Yeah,
and be like
yeah.
explaining why I'm not that person. That you should be mad
yeah.
at that and
him
not
and,
me.
Him and his brother are both very similar like that. They will never deflect
Yeah.
to to somebody else, and they're just like, listen, we're all human. We should love
Yeah.
each other.
Because it makes
this and
sense.
that.
Because basically they're saying, well, if I just go, well, I'm not a Muslim,
Yeah.
I'm not a Muslim, then it's like you're saying
You're still
that
gonna be mad
You're
at
saying
him.
that they're
you're
bad.
saying that their thoughts are like
Yeah.
valid, that they
Towards
should be
them.
mad at Muslims.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, just don't be mad at me. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, like just don't have so
Yeah.
much anger and hate.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel really bad for Jagmeet Singh, because it's such a big uphill battle, and that if he doesn't do well, I think the party's gonna oust him, and which completely sucks, because he is
Yeah.
he's really the Obama of Canada, like very eloquent speaker.
Yeah, he is.
You know, very regal.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just unfortunate that he's with the NDP.
I was like hoping it would be basically like my
If he was the
Not
leader
per-
of the Liberal Party, fuck, dude, he could do like 20 terms.
thing is the problem. Like not the problem, but like why? Okay, obviously he's Punjabi, Sikh, so all like most of them, like you'd think he'd have that party like down fat. He'd like have that whole like population. They're all gonna vote for him.
No.
But the problem is Trudeau's dad basically
Yeah.
got all the Canadians and
Yeah.
all the Punjabis, Indians, whatever, all basically got them all status here.
Yeah.
They basically were allowed to stay here, so they're all like, dude, we got to pay homage to the homeboy.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna vote Liberal always.
And phase two now.
And all the farmers and
Phase
shit.
two.
And
They're
now
doing it again.
and phase two, Justin did the same thing.
Exactly.
Open up the immigration, so,
So the
everyone
next
that's
votes are
here,
always
the
gonna
next,
be-
they're going their way again. I don't think Justin is a good leader, personally. You know, the guy, he fucking stumbles and mumbles and fucks up when
His
he
water
talks
thing?
so much, dude.
Are you
that-
kidding me,
How
man?
stupid was
Drink
that?
box water sort
Yeah.
of thing. Fuck you mean?
Yeah. You
Just
mean
say-
a fucking steel bottle?
Yeah. Steel or glass?
You mean a reusable bottle? We just use reusable bottle. Like, how
Yeah.
fucking hard was it to say that?
The water bottle. I mean,
The
bottle,
thingy, the
water,
box and
drink
the-
box, drink box, water bottle, sort of thing. The fuck are you saying?
I don't know.
man?
You can't fucking hate a guy just for one.
No,
stumble.
it's not
Then
just one.
He
That's
does
not
do
the
a lot.
only
He does a lot of them.
This guy cries half of his fucking speeches.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
And it's like
Fuck.
about just like Oh, he says fucking.
Yeah.
Oh.
He does-
He's like
he-
very Canadian because he says sorry all the fucking time. But sometimes, like, dude, stand up.
Yeah, sometimes he
Goddamn
does need to be a bit. I think he isn't powerful enough to
Yeah.
really be a leader like that.
Yeah, even like a couple of times, like they'll ask him a question, he will beat around it so hard, and it's like you're not even trying to not beat around it. You are making it fully like visibly.
He beats on it so hard he fucking jizzes. He's just beating it. Fuck.
But you've been awfully quiet over here.
And
I think he's researching.
and Sheer is just a straight up racist, man.
Oh yeah,
You can
shit.
just tell.
Yeah.
Dude,
100% he
racist,
hates me.
homophobe.
Yeah, he like
Straight
straight up.
homophobe.
He's like he doesn't.
Natural.
He's doesn't believe in a woman's right to choose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's
Right? Like he's like
he's
straight
fucked.
up orthodox as they fucking. He's like
Yeah,
yeah.
white power as they come.
pretty much. You can just tell by looking at him. I was like, oh, that guy's gonna hate me.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's where this election is gonna be super fucking interesting on how this thing pans out.
And you can tell how similar it is to the U.S. with just how the media has been taking
it's
it.
the same
debates.
approach.
Dude, because they saw how much the fucking news and how
Yeah.
big of a.
Oh, this
like-
is how Trump won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just saw how big of a
Yeah.
thing, a hit it became. It was a fucking show. It was an
Basically,
entertainment
it's
show.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Oh,
they
he
want to do
ripped
the
on
same
fucking
thing.
Trudeau. Oh, dude, put that
Yeah.
on, dude.
Exactly.
News clips are using that. Fucking, you are this, you are that.
like this
fucking
bla-
straight WWE fucking blasting.
Exactly.
The funny thing is that it's like where was blackface last election?
Yeah. Exactly. Nobody found this
Usually
picture
all
before.
the skeletons come out in the first election,
Yeah.
not in the fucking second
It
election.
is, that is pretty surprising.
right?
Actually.
Isn't that like super surprising?
Yeah.
Like where the hell was all this shit?
that
in the
not a
first
single
election?
person was like, "Hey, what about this?
Yeah.
what about this time at this party?"
But basically, what that tells me is that Trudeau has pissed off so many people that even liberal supporters were like, you know what? Here's a fucking photo of my yearbook. This is this motherfucker right here. I'm sick of this shit. Sick of his shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dumb shit he's done.
oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's true. There was this thing called the Truth Tracker that kind of shows about like how
it
many
shows,
promises
like-
they made.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I didn't read the article fully. I just read the headline and it showed that he's had 93% of 93% of the stuff he said he's gonna do. He did, which is the highest of any leader
That's
in
pretty
the
Yeah,
history
that's what
of
I saw
Canada.
too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a real article or not.
Yeah.
So I was just,
That sounds really high.
It sounds super
It
high,
sounds
but like,
super
I
high.
don't know.
yeah.
but if I kind of look back at what his promises were, he kind of did them.
Yeah, I feel like
Dude,
it
he
was
said
more
he's gonna
of, like,
cut
the big
fucking
ones.
cell phone bills.
And that's his next one. Yeah.
Cell phone bills, fucking guns, and
Fuck, I'll
fucking.
get
The
behind
guns I
that.
don't agree with, man. He wants to get rid of my AR-15. I don't know. And he said something about handguns too. That's not cool.
I know the handgun
fuck?
the handgun stuff is kind of stupid.
What?
Like, why do you like? Do you have to have them?
Yeah.
Why?
Because recreationally, I like shooting targets.
Yeah, whatever. Man.
It's true though. Like think about it. If you enjoy that activity and stuff and
Yeah.
doing that, like shooting is fun.
We don't
but then
have a
you
gun
could-
problem in Canada.
and you
That's
could
true.
never go. And the fucking
Oh,
gun
we don't want one
problem-
starting.
No, what we should have, and this is what none of these motherfuckers are talking about, is that we should have a zero tolerance when it comes to gun crimes.
Yeah,
There should be
That's
fucking
true.
zero tolerance on that stuff. If you're caught with an illegal firearm, zero tolerance.
Yeah.
If you are in any criminal act with a firearm, zero fucking tolerance. That's where these guys pussyfoot around that
I
shit.
feel like they don't want to do that though because I probably just the police force and shit uses those minor things to get to the bigger like kingpins and shit. They use them to like follow these guys if they don't.
Yeah, but what fucking kingpins have they gotten to?
Exactly.
Where are we with the fucking kingpins?
That's very true.
They haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
They don't do shit, and
That's-
and I shouldn't say that it's the cops that don't do shit. The cops put in a lot of effort to put these cases together. They go to fucking Crown, they go to the courts, and then it's like, oh
Yeah.
you know, let's just offer them a plea deal because I don't want to do my job,
Yeah.
and I don't think we can win this one. And if they do fucking take it to court, somehow they end up fucking the plaintiff and fucking their cases up because someone either from the legal system will sleep with them or something will happen and the charges will get dismissed. There's always some fucking bullshit technicality that they
Yeah.
get dismissed on where if they repeal the laws, change the laws, and just go to some sort of fucking zero tolerance with some of this shit, especially here in BC,
Yeah.
with the fucking brazen daylight shootings that
Oh,
are
yeah.
happening, no one's talking about that. Why isn't that on any other fucking platforms?
Because honestly, BC is a
Dude,
very
that guy,
small portion
a guy
of
got
their-
shot in McDonald's broad fucking daylight with kids sitting in there. Are you fucking kidding me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
getting pretty ridiculous.
It's absolutely stupid. And why is it happening? Why is it more brazen? Because they haven't caught a single fucking person out of the hundreds of shootings that have happened.
And yet every
Who have
time
they
something
caught?
happens,
Oh, we found a vehicle on fire and we haven't found anybody.
and every time something happens and somebody's dead or something, oh, but he was known to police, though. So you knew about him, but you never fucking did anything ever.
But you can't blame them either because their hands are tied
with the fucking laws. Yeah.
So the laws need to fucking change. You can't just. It's not just a police problem. It's a law problem.
Yeah.
If people had fear in, hey, if I did this, I'm gonna get automatic 10 years for a gun crime or 15 years, like zero fucking tolerance.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't do this, right? But because even when they do end up catching the one odd fucking guy, they get off on some sort of bullshit technicality.
Yeah.
So it's like,
What do you think, Preeti?
Huh?
That's why we need voter turnout.
100%.
Go out and vote. I was like, not my prediction, but I'm hoping for some sort of liberal NDP hybrid.
I don't think
Hybrid.
NDP. I don't think
Not
NDP is
hybrid,
gonna.
but like
I don't think
the,
NDP is gonna get the votes to get
Yeah.
the official opposition. Jacqueline had a lot behind him, and
And he
the only reason that happened was because liberals, people were
fucking garbage at that time.
absolutely sick of liberals and absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like Ignatieff or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ignatieff was a piece of shit. I didn't even vote for liberals that time because I was like, "Fuck this guy! This guy's an absolute piece of shit."
Yeah.
Is he the one that isn't a real Canadian? He's like a
Yeah,
dual
yeah.
citizen? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Apparently, Shear's got dual citizenship as well.
He does.
Yeah.
He's
which
like, oh,
is-
I've
then
never
he's like-
used it and I've never voted.
Yeah, and then they're like,
I never go anywhere.
they're like, you never declared it. He's like, nobody asked.
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting. You know, it's like close to like I forget how many, probably like $3,000 to get rid of your American citizenship.
You have to pay to get rid of your
You have
citizenship?
to pay to get rid of it.
Like, I want out. Here's my like dues, like Hell's
Yeah.
Angels, like
Yeah,
break
yeah.
my legs.
Who the
I'm
fuck
out.
was I talking to? Oh, one of my buddies.
You want out of the U.S.? Pay up, sucker.
No, because one of my buddies, he like moved here and stuff like that, and he's getting into Canadian citizenship.
Why
and,
wouldn't
like,
he just keep dual?
No, he has dual, but he's like because he because he has a business and stuff like that, he's gonna get taxed both sides.
Oh.
So he's like, I want to get rid of that one. He's like, but it's gonna take me fucking like a year and a half, and it cost me like $3,000 to get rid of your citizenship.
That's
So why don't you
fucking
do a crime? They'll probably fucking be like, fuck you.
Isn't there shit about like if you're out of the country for a certain amount of time? Or is that?
Well, that's if you can't go to the States more than 6 months.
No, he's talking about like losing your citizenship.
No, you can't lose your citizenship.
I have
Or
to
anything?
visit, I have to
Actually, yeah, I
visit my.
guess that's true.
I have to visit my country every 3 years.
Yeah, you can't lose your citizenship.
Oh, and now I'm just a citizen in a way. That's why
Please,
probably why it is.
please, somebody
you
take
can't
me.
lose your citizenship,
Yeah,
but like you can't
exactly.
visit any other country for more than
Well,
the
it depends.
US.
The
Yeah.
no, we got relationships. Like
Yeah.
Certain
US you can go for 6 months max.
Is that UK too? Something close to
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not.
that. I think
100%
UK.
sure.
There's like
Yeah, because there's the whatever.
there's
Those,
like 4 or 5 countries that
conglomeration. Yeah, I think it's the UK, America, Canada, and New Zealand. I think is like the
Is New Zealand.
I
Man?
think so.
Let's go stay there for 5 months,
New Zealand's supposed to be beautiful, man.
dude.
Yeah.
All
Game
the
of
pictures
Thrones
I
and
see,
shit.
it's
Yeah,
fucking
it looks amazing, man.
Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Those
Yeah.
fucking beautiful.
Lord of the Rings, you mean?
Yeah, that one.
Game of Thrones. I don't
Any of
think
that
any of it was
mystical
filmed
I
in
don't
New
think anything
Zealand.
was
Really?
None of
Yeah.
it was New
Oh, okay,
Zealand.
never
Yeah.
mind.
It was
Iceland.
like
Was
Morocco,
Croatia?
Morocco, Croatia, Ireland,
Iceland.
Yeah.
But my prediction is it's gonna solely depend on what the turnout is for NDP. If the NDP turnout is strong, then I think Conservatives are gonna win. If more people, if the NDP's turnout isn't as strong, then I think it's gonna be a liberal minority with
With a
conservative.
real hot on their heels.
Yeah, yeah. It's not gonna be a landslide like last
Yeah.
time. Not even
No.
close. It's gonna be a mixed bag.
You know what he should do? He should legalize different drugs, and then it'll be landslide.
Legalize
Crackhead, bro. You got to get that crackhead vote.
Psychedelics.
Crackhead vote. I'm out here supporting you crackheads on the street.
You guys are the backbone of this country.
Without you, we'd be nowhere.
There was one of the parties wants to
That's so
lower the voting age to like I think
16.
16 or something like that.
16.
Man, that's stupid.
I think they should raise the voting age.
Honestly,
It's probably not a bad idea.
no. It's
Well,
proper,
the younger
proper
people,
where
they're
it's,
gonna. I think the
No,
younger
I-
people, that's like NDP geared toward that.
Yeah.
Middle-ish, kind of like liberal, then older is fucking conservative.
Yeah.
Then all the potheads vote green.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's the case anymore.
No.
But before they were the only marijuana party.
Yeah.
But now because liberals legalized it,
Yeah. I don't
it's,
think anyone gives a shit about Green Party
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Green Party is
Yeah. Because they're not even that green. They don't support nuclear
No.
energy, which is kind of dumb. Because it's one of the safest energies now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to go that way.
You don't have to.
Legally, so
Yeah.
well.
But like they're very against it. Like they're like, no, we would never. It's terrible.
And for anybody listening, elections are October
October
21st, Monday.
And there's
oh, shit, I'm busy that day.
yeah, but there's you can vote.
I'm joking.
Advance vote.
Advance voting.
Relax.
Get your ass out and vote, Preeti.
I'm busy that day, dude.
Sick of this, man.
I am out of the country for 6 months.
Honestly, you said
Go to New Zealand.
you can't complain about the medical care or whatever that we don't
Or your
have
cell phone bill.
Taxes.
or anything. You can't.
know what? You can't complain about
about
anything.
anything if you haven't done your part. If you haven't done your part, don't complain that hey, we don't get the right medical care, we don't get this, we don't get that because you didn't vote, you didn't put your voice in.
How are you going to not vote and then advocate for Preeti 2020? Who the fuck's going to vote for you?
Yeah,
It's a joke,
You know,
you
I'm-
fucking
I'm-
asshole.
I'm
You think
busy.
I'm gonna run?
I'm busy.
You
the
should.
day-
Fuck all y'all.
Dude, fucking, I forget who was telling us. They're like, oh, what if you went 2 terms, like even as like a fucking MP or like a fucking whatever?
Full
full
Yeah.
pension.
Huh?
Yeah,
full pension.
Full pension.
I was like, dude,
That's all you need. 2 terms. Full
2
pension.
terms. That's
Yeah.
it.
2 terms.
8 years of work, full pension.
Fucking.
So how do we
sick.
get into politics?
So I was thinking about it. Would you guys support me? No.
You fucking run over people. You're
I know.
I think I would be number 1 for
First
pedestrian
of all,
safety.
listen.
My platform would be about pedestrian safety.
The first problem we have,
No more pedestrians.
the first fucking major problem we have. Look at this fucking podcast. All the
I
stupid
know.
shit you've
There's
said on
no
it,
way any of us
all
can run it.
weaponized against you.
Probably. That's why I'm not going to run for politics.
No, we just blame it on each other. No, that was Preeti that said that.
Yeah, it's all Preeti.
He's good at mimicking voices.
That's why politics is not my future. Politics is a dirty business, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They might find some skeletons I don't even know I had. I don't even know I had. That's just a
I remember doing this.
dirty ass game it is.
Yeah.
BC's on the collapse right now.
There's gonna bring up that you used to bring fireworks.
Oh,
so
that's how.
you're
Yeah,
done.
100%. I've already said so much.
Now
of
Trump
it.
is gonna come get you. It's over for
Build
you.
a wall for you.
Yeah. But BC government is probably going to collapse too now because I don't know where they sit with their seat count, but with Ginny Sims being being investigated now, she has had to resign from her position. So
Interesting.
I'm kind of happy if that happens. Fuck the BC NDP. Piece of shit.
You're such a
Stop.
fucking hater.
No, man. They've stopped every infrastructure project in the province.
I know everything that's going, like even the fucking highway,
The highway,
widening
everything.
of that,
Yeah.
the Fraser, the fucking.
I met
16.
him and asked him flat out. I was like, what are you doing for everybody south of the Fraser? I'm
Met
like, John Horgan.
Hmm.
I'm like, what are you doing for everybody south of the Fraser? I'm like, why did you guys stop the highway widening project? Oh, I didn't even know that was a problem. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, have you never like
Driven out
of the city? Like, where the hell do you stay the whole time? Like, do you not go to the Kelowna or during the summer, whatever? Right? Like,
Flies there.
He probably flies there.
probably.
Legit.
And I was
Using
just like-
taxpayer money.
I was so disappointed in him, man. I was like, you guys are losers, man. I'm like, they've been at it. How long they been in power now? 3 years? 2 years? 3 years?
so.
They still haven't even decided on the fucking Massey Tunnel.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do? Tunnel or bridge? They can't. They already did pre-construction for the bridge, preloaded both sides, and put pylons in. And they
maybe we'll turn it into a
and they
tunnel.
stopped the project.
Well, at least it's preloaded.
Fucking
It's getting preloaded
stupid,
more.
man. Hate
It's
this
dumb though
fucking-
because if you just let shit sit like that, you end up spending more money
You
because the
do.
shit just deteriorates.
Yeah.
Just sitting out there. In the
You got to
elements.
basically redo it. You're doing
Yeah.
double the work.
Exactly.
Especially if they change that was meant for the bridge. Now if they change it to a 8-lane tunnel or whatever the hell they're thinking, then basically they have to take all that out and dig underground now. Fuck preloading. We need to take this shit out.
They put more shit on top to take out.
Yeah.
I don't get how tunnel is gonna be makes more sense.
It doesn't make
How-
more sense.
It doesn't make
But then
more
how
sense.
are they trying to push that way? I don't get it.
Because somebody really likes tunnels up there.
Because they're
I like holding my breath when I go through that. It's a very fun.
Take your
feeling.
sunglasses off.
stupid, man. The bridge is the way to go. The
The
But-
only tunnel that ever made sense is the UK one.
The channel.
They gotta stop the
channel.
water, then we can just drive through.
We'll just get Moses on either end. Part the sea.
He parts it every day for the commute.
Yeah.
There's like a stoplight for the water.
Yeah.
Oh, stop now.
Oh, he's taking a break.
He's on a lunch break.
He's on lunch. We have to wait.
There will be no parting in the water today.
It's like a fucking railroad crossing.
But the Alex Fraser, now that they put that zipper barrier in, holy shit. Fucking 900 times percent better getting over the Alex Fraser. So what they did is they created an extra lane, so they made all the lanes a little bit smaller, got rid of the shoulder. And so
I've
now
been on there for so long.
so there's 5 lanes now going south
Yeah.
and 4 coming north.
Yeah.
And then that 5th lane, the zipper lane, there's this like special truck that drives right down the middle, and
it picks them up and puts them
it
on
moves the
that.
barriers over.
That's dope.
So for counter, they can do counterflow
That's cool.
and add and remove a lane.
Have you guys ever
for
seen
traffic.
Australia, Sydney, the main bridge they have, the famous bridge or whatever, right in Sydney?
The one where they do the fireworks for the New Year's?
Yeah. So that one has an automatic thing underneath that does that.
Oh, like
wild.
things just come out of the...
Yeah.
Oh,
Blink,
okay.
blink, 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 blink.
Because their traffic over that bridge is just so insane that they it just does that. All of a sudden, that middle one closes and they switch it over automatically. It's
Nice.
fucking nuts.
That's pretty
Well, it
dope.
works when it doesn't snow. So
Yeah.
in our world here, I bet you even this thing is probably going to fuck up the day it snows. The truck's going to spin out of control. And
Fly off the bridge.
The barriers are just going to block the whole fucking bridge. Ice bombs are going to fucking start landing from the cables. Remember when that
Yeah.
was a thing?
Oh, yeah.
The fucking ice bombs?
Fuck, that
Yeah.
was nuts.
That's
And
really
just start
crazy.
sending that fucking one thing to just break off all the ice storms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the
Sick.
low-tech
How are we gonna
solution...
fix this?
the
How are we
low-tech
gonna- yeah,
solution for-
low-tech. We could put a robot on there that goes up and down.
No.
We could put wires to warm up the go. You know what? Let's just throw chains down.
Chains, yeah. Let's get somebody to climb up that fucking thing.
And knock it off.
Tie some chains down and just slide the chains down the fucking thing. That was your fucking solution.
And look how much we spent on that goddamn bridge. That's
Dude, it's
what we
so
get.
stupid.
One guy's killing
That's
it.
Hey, man,
fucking-
sometimes the simplest solution fixes it.
The fucking chain gang.
That shit's hilarious.
I feel sorry for the sucker who has to take him all the way back up.
He probably gets paid pretty well.
Yeah, man, 100%.
I doubt it.
Straight taxpayer
Really?
money. Why would you do
I don't know if it's
Labor, man. It's not
Yeah.
a fucking specialized work. They're not going to pay you $100,000 to fucking throw chains down the thing.
But they'll pay him enough.
Enough that it's worth it.
What's
Yeah.
enough? What is enough, really?
$5.
I don't know. Enough for him.
Live
Enough
within
is-
your means. What
Enough
enough?
is whatever you choose for it to be.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, thought of the day is make your voice heard. Get out and vote. Don't be a pussy about it. Don't care about what party you vote for. Just get out there and vote. Actually, I do care. Vote for someone who's gonna put our future forward, and someone who's gonna do something for the climate. I think the only thing that
Pretty sure that's the liberal slogan. Choose forward.
is it. Oh, shit.
This guy, are you paid? Are you sponsored
This
by
is a
them?
paid
or something?
sponsorship.
What's that word called when you're like in with somebody, in cahoots with somebody?
You're sleeping with them.
No,
Sleeping with the enemy.
no. There's a term for it. You're a
Infiltrate.
shill.
You're a shill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat earth shill. Round earth shill.
But no, I'm not saying vote for liberals. I'm saying vote for. There's a bunch of other parties that actually do have a stance on climate. Vote for one of them at least. Somebody who's going to do something positive for the climate.
Yeah.
All right. Thought of the day. Don't vote conservative or fucking PPC.
You know what? Fuck. I'm voting conservative.
Did I ever tell you about my PPC story?
Your PP? What?
My PP. Did I tell you about my PP?
I did not see your PP. No, I did not.
So I didn't
Very
know.
short story, guys.
I didn't know who these guys were. Right by my house over the overpass. There used to be these people in yellow vests with these signs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And I'm like, you can't even read their signs.
Yeah,
These
it's
guys
so dumb.
I mean, these guys are so stupid. You can't even read their signs.
Then they started calling him yellow vest or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So they're called the yellow vest, that which is the PPC. I didn't know this at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna tell these guys, like, hey, just, can you do your signs a little bit darker? Like, can't really read them or whatever. And so one day I'm dropping my kids off and I'm driving back. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna tell these guys. That day the lady turned towards me and was waving the sign at me. And I'm reading the sign, and it's like, "Get out of our country, you immigrants." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, bitch, I ain't telling you shit."
He swerves into her, just hits her.
So who are they going for?
They're the PPC.
What is that?
the People's Party of Canada. They're
They're the whole
Max-
separate shit.
So they're
I'm voting for
Are
them.
they the separate?
so Maxime Bernier, who was a part of the Conservatives, he lost the leadership race to Andrew Scheer. So he said, "Fuck you guys! I'm gonna start
Made
my
his
own
own.
party." He's like, and then
blackjack and
and created
hookers.
this PPC, People's Party of Canada, which are basically like, we don't believe in climate, we don't like immigrants, white power, and I don't know what else they stand for besides that.
No, that's about it.
Dude, mostly I've just seen them though. Like immigrants get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
the
I don't
biggest
understand.
thing.
Do
Are-
they actually think like they're gonna win, or like what's the?
they just want to be heard, I guess.
Yeah, they just.
I think if they get one seat,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we won,
Yeah.
we got one seat.
But isn't that all
The
the
funny
money
one
they're
is-
spending and
No, the funny one is when like the Green Party thinks that she's gonna win. Like she's like, I'm gonna be the first female prime minister. It's like, nah, man,
No,
you
you're
ain't
not.
gonna be that.
good on her.
Yeah,
Dude, every time I see those PPC,
She's a nice
guys,
lady.
I'm proud of her.
every time I see the PPC, like they're not doing, like they're just wasting their fucking time, almost, like mostly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
they're
they got a lot of
fucking-
time to waste.
You have to spend a lot of money in your campaign, fucking advertising, putting these signs up, and doing this, hiring people to do this and this and that, and fucking like, do you actually think you're gonna fucking win?
I don't know. It's like if you look at the PPC specifically, they don't even have candidates in all the ridings. They only have candidates in a handful of ridings.
Probably mostly in, like Quebec and
Yeah,
Winnipeg. and shit.
exactly. So like it's one of those things. It's funny. My brother-in-law, he's hilarious. A PPC guy came to his neighborhood, and they're like, "Hey,
Get the hell out of here.
no."
Vote for us and get the fuck out.
Think of this: the guy that came and he's like, "Hey, would you be opposed or would you sign for PPC to be able to have a candidate in this riding?" And my brother-in-law was like, "Yeah, man, no problem. I'll sign that," because he's like, "I'll do anything to split the conservative vote." Right?
That is pretty smart.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll sign it." He goes, "Yeah, get somebody in this riding. Let's split the conservative vote." That's
Yeah.
fucking smart,
That's hilarious.
right? But yeah.
How does our is it like the electoral college thing? Or
No, ours is based off of how many
Numbers?
seats you have. So it's based on how many ridings you win.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that theirs is like weighted differently.
Yeah, theirs
and,
is like-
and all that kind of.
yeah.
And then at the end of the electoral
Electrical.
Electoral.
electoral college can actually decide who the winner is.
Yeah.
Like it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like their system is fucked up.
Well-
and the two-party system just doesn't work. Like there's no choice for anybody.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because it just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, even this Democratic nomination that's going on right now, like this is the thing how you're kind of talking about like, do these people think they're gonna win? Like there's like I think four-ish front runners right now: Biden, Bernie Sanders, and then two other guys. I think one of the Asian guys has some support and one other person. But then there's a bunch of the other people have like 1% support, like 3% support. And they're like still like, okay, we're gonna do another fundraising event, and it's like, the fuck you fundraising for? Like, you're not gonna win the nomination. Like, you do not have the fucking support.
He's just trying to get
Maybe they
funds
just
so he
believe.
doesn't,
huh?
Maybe they just believe.
Yeah,
like,
Maybe
they're
it
gonna do
is.
or he's just trying to get enough funds so he doesn't lose his house or some shit afterwards.
Yeah,
And I mean,
I guess.
Put it in his pocket. He's like, "Fuck, I'm down anyway."
I think the only
Damn it! I
one,
spent my money now to make up my money.
I think the only ones that can get away with that is the Gurdwara committee.
Oh,
shit!
That is a fucking low blow.
You're not allowed on the Goddaras anymore, dude.
I don't want to be there anyways.
I'll make my own Godora.
Fucking corrupt.
Classic
anyways.
move. Classic move.
Fucking corrupt Gurdwaras.
You're like Max Bernie.
That'll be for another day. That's a topic for another day.
Oh, man.
I'll fucking rant on these Gurdwara.
That's
too.
another one. That's another one I don't want to be a part of.
I'll light them up, man.
Go there, better watch out from Joda.
Just straight up, man.
What, you're gonna light them up? You're gonna light them on fire?
You fucking sick fuck.
Oh shit! Get him! Get him!
Holy.
You heard it here
Running
first.
over people.
You heard
lighting
Kevin
people on
saying it
fire.
first. He's gonna do it. Fucking pyro.
That
Anyways,
was a long
You're
thought of the
Hey,
day.
you're the one that burnt your hand playing with
thought of
God.
the day is get your asses out and vote. Don't procrastinate. Don't be a bitch. There's advanced polling. Get out there and vote.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
vote,
go
guys.
Canada.
Go
And on that
vote,
note,
guys.
hit us up at ltbcast.com. On Instagram, like, share, and comment.
Let us know who you're voting for.
Vote
And let
for
us know
that.
why we should change our vote.
Sway me.
Sway me, yeah.
Yeah.
Change my opinion.
I don't even know who I'm voting for. But sway me.
I don't know who I'm.
We all know who you're voting for.
Sway me. I don't know. I'm thinking of just throwing an audible last minute and being like, fuck it, I'm going to vote for
Yeah, that's what you think. But then
I-
right when you
You're
go
gonna
there,
be sheer ignorance and vote conservative.
No, that's not going to happen. But fiscally, they're very responsible.
So
Yeah,
a lot of
but-
people were rich,
Honestly,
they'd be
we
like,
wouldn't have gotten through the. I do feel this. We wouldn't have gotten through the recession if Harper wasn't in power at that time, because fiscally, conservatives are very responsible. Liberals just love to spend money.
especially richer people. They're gonna be like, let's vote conservative. We don't get taxed as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Until next time, peace.
Woo-hoo.
Vote LTV.
I'm voting NDP.